Welcome to the SheBusiness show on VillageTV. My name is Suzy Jacobs, and we spend the next 15 minutes bringing you information around business expertise, personal development, and health and well-being to make your business life just that little bit easier. Today I have with me the gregarious and phenomenal Kim Rumble from the Compounding Pharmacy, which you'll find compoundingpharmacyaustralia.com. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you, Suzy. It's lovely to be here.
It is so great having you here. Very excited. I want to talk to you about stress and anxiety and exhaustion. But before we do, can you just talk through what compounding is versus a traditional pharmacy? Because I've never really had you define it, and I don't think I knew before I came across you. So tell us about compounding versus traditional.
Good question. It is actually quite unique, and you probably reflect back on what apothecaries were. And apothecaries were people that had customised medicine for the individual. And essentially that's what compounders do. It's going back to those old times that everybody's unique, everybody's different, an individual. So what we do is we customise it to that person. Or a child can't take a medicine, so we flavour it differently. We may make it into a suppository if they're vomiting. We can make it into suspensions, capsules, creams, pessaries. We even do the troche, which is like a lozenge that you can dissolve in your mouth. So we can put medicines into different forms. We can change strengths for people. If they can't take a capsule, we can put into a liquid. So it's quite versatile, and in this day and age, everybody needs to be treated individually.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I go to my doctor before I come to a compounding pharmacy, or do I come direct to you?
That's another. Well, once again, if it's a child that won't take its medicine, or we've had this actually today because it had a tonsil operation, the child will not take the Panadol and Nurofen, so we've made it into suppositories.
I had to do that for my daughter. She would never take liquid medicine. She would just vomit it up. It was revolting for years and years.
That's right. So
it was always suppository.
that doesn't need a script or
Sure.
to see a doctor. But if you're doing things like hormonal therapies, or you've got issues with other medications, then you do need to see a doctor, and we do need a prescription.
So that works a bit the same as like a traditional pharmacy.
Exactly.
So can I go to a compounding pharmacy and find headache tablets or plasters or that sort of stuff? Or is it...
See, my business is very unique. It's completely different. So I called a pharmacy, but you can't get a Panadol, you can't get a toothbrush, you can't get anything like a normal pharmacy. So when you come in to see me, you come in for a unique experience. We specialise in preventative and nutritional medicine. So we've got all the superfoods, the supplements, all the practitioner ranges.
Yep.
And I've got on board a herbalist and a nutritionist and a couple of pharmacists and technicians. But I'm really proud of it because, having been a conventional pharmacist for many years, a little bit disappointed in the Band-Aid therapies. And I get so excited now because I'm experiencing my vision, which is to basically help people to stay well, keep well, and not get sick.
And if you're local, so if you're in Sydney and you haven't been to the compounding pharmacy in Mossman, you have to go. It is the most remarkable experience. If you can't get there, jump on her website and have a look. It's a beautiful service and very personal. And as you say, a lot of it is about preventative health. What I see, and most of our audience here today are business owners, lots of them women. And as you know, within SheBusiness, that's who we work with day in, day out. Kim, it upsets me to see that so many women go into business, and we have this idea that we're going to be able to manage our work and our family, and we're going to be able to kind of define life on our terms. And yet there is an overwhelming sense of exhaustion and stress that's obviously having an effect on us physically and mentally. Is my assumption right? Is it having that level of exhaustion? Does it have a long-term physical ramifications?
Oh, Suzy, it's incredible. I think you've just hit on the number one biggest killer in society today, and that's stress. And we underestimate stress. And women now go into so many roles, just like you say, the mother role, the partner role, the business role, the cleaning role. you just can't do it. The stress that's put on them. You know, women had a role before that they were mothers, and it was a challenging role in itself. Put that onto them. What causes that? Stress. Causes anxiety. Causes a depletion in energy. It's adrenals that are actually affected. And the adrenals, as it's like running on adrenaline, you know, flight and fright syndrome. When something happens and you do that. Now, in caveman days, that happened. But it was like once in a blue moon. But we live constantly now on that adrenaline. And you feel like it's pumping out all the time.
I remember Amanda Gore came and spoke at one of our big events. You were there at Fearless, and that was the first time. And Amanda, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this, must be in her early 50s. I'm going to say in her 50s. And she stood up on stage and she was coming to talk about overcoming fear and living a full life. And the first thing she said is, if you are stressed, if you are exhausted, stop now. You will have adrenal fatigue. And it's obviously something that has affected her life. What kind of ramifications? What is the effect of something like adrenal fatigue?
Oh, it's absolutely massive. So what happens is it's a whole sort of pathway to massive ill health where you can be actually bedbound. And so what happens is your adrenals get exhausted. They will then affect the thyroid. The thyroid is your metabolism and your energy levels. So it's like everything becomes depleted and you're living on raw energy. So in the long run of that, your immune system gets affected. So you go down with your immune system, you constant sickness, over and over again, upper respiratory tract infections, your energy levels are low, you push yourself to the ultimate. Have you heard of a thing called chronic fatigue?
I had something called CMV, which is a version of chronic fatigue, and I had glandular fever, so I'm really susceptible to those sorts of things.
And you must always watch it because glandular fever is a typical sign, low immune system, adrenals exhausted, low immune system, glandular fever. If you don't treat it and get rid of that bug then and there, you know what happens? It can lead to that chronic fatigue, and that's really scary because that's when people can't get out of bed, and that will take them 12 months to 3 years to get better.
And I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this level of exhaustion. So obviously there is us taking responsibility for that, and I assume a change in lifestyle. We see, I really resist this idea of balance. I don't think there is anything like balance.
Well, so you say that, but you're a busy woman. You've got a family, you've got a partner, and you've got a business.
Yep.
However, I'm sure you fit your exercise regime in because exercise is crucial.
Yes, I do.
I'm sure even if you're going along in a car, you can kind of do some form of meditation.
Yes, I do.
Okay? Diet's essential. Good food, good nutrition, good fibre, healthy food. You have to have a body like yours. You have to have good food.
I do,
and
most of the time.
Glowing skin. Yeah. And it's like, look, if you're like me, I love my wine, but you have to limit that to, say, 2 or 3 nights a week. And then I go the other time. It's very difficult, but I do achieve it. 4 nights with alcohol. Very difficult, but I do.
Make me laugh.
And the other thing is that you then need to take some supplements that address what's going on. And I'm sure you understand this. And people say, oh, I have healthy food and I do all the right things. But I don't care what anyone says. And today, you need to nurture the adrenals. Everybody needs to nurture the adrenals.
So I'm going to stop you there for a second. So people come in and when they're complaining of being exhausted and stressed out, and when you start digging into their background and you ask them, do you eat well? Are you getting enough sleep? Do you meditate? Do you exercise? They're saying yes to those things?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Right, so they're saying no, we're not. And is it because they don't have enough time?
It's time management.
Yeah.
And I agree with them, and I say yes, but we do all have, I'm exactly the same. I was my personal trainer this morning at 7 a.m. because that's what I have to do, to get to work, to then get dressed, open the shop at 8 o'clock and be ready for the day. I'm actually trying to leave earlier these days and fit a little walk in the afternoon. Then I can go home, it's Friday night, drinking night. But essentially I say to people, and I do take supplements.
Yep.
Because I have to.
Yep.
And I think I'm a little bit unusual. I have a high energy level. I think you have the same. And so I have to understand that most people don't have this energy level.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. So we're here to make your life out there that much easier in business and bring you that much more success in life and in business. What would be your top tips for women who are feeling stressed, feeling exhausted, they're on that edge where they feel as though their health is being affected. Do they come down and see you? Do they go to their doctor? Talk me through it.
Look, there's a couple of things. I would love them to come down and see them because we do 3 consults on the floor.
Yep.
And unless it needs something bigger and better than that, you get great advice.
Could you do that over the phone if they're not local?
Yes, we could do that over the phone.
Great.
And that's something that's important too. And we post out everything as well. So you need an adrenal supplement. Everybody needs some form of adrenal supplement. You need to make sure your sleep is a quality regenerative sleep. And a simple thing like magnesium glycinate, which is another thing we make, is the most wonderful thing. It gives you a better relaxed sleep. So sleep is very important. I think exercise is important, but as a supplement these days, you do need to take either a really good antioxidant, because oxidative stress is huge. That leads to the old adrenal problems as well. So oxidative stress, I would take a good antioxidant. I would take some adrenal nurturing herbs, and probably magnesium would be because usually if you're eating good organic food, you're getting enough vitamins and minerals. I still supplement because I can, but some people get a little bit averse to taking too many things.
Yep.
But I would just be encouraging the exercise, nurturing the adrenals with a supplement, getting good quality sleep. Magnesium helps.
How much sleep?
Look, for someone like me, 7 hours is perfect. And I'm nearly 60, so I would say to you, as you get older, you need less sleep. As you're younger, you need more sleep. So these teenagers and 20s who burn the candle at both ends.
My son.
I know. And they do need their 9 hours. And on weekends, I see my son catch up with 10.
Yep.
And so consequently, the younger they are, the more sleep they require. As you get older, you need less, but it's the quality of the sleep.
Yep.
It's how deep your REM sleep goes. Because if you're having a shallow sleep, you can wake up and think, I'm just as exhausted as I was when I went to bed.
And some of the routines that we have around sleep are really important. Mm-hmm. So you talked about the magnesium, taking that, and that gives you a good quality sleep. Also making sure that you do some sort of meditation or downtime, which doesn't involve being on a screen, having your phone beside your bed, having your laptop there. And, one of the things that I often hear is, yes, but I've got X, Y, Z. It's yes, but. So I think that one of our top tips could be when you hear yourself saying but, it's time to pull back. It's time to listen to yourself making excuses. And within SheBusiness, we are very much about defining your own success, making really proactive choices. Absolutely. And so it's actually choosing to do these things rather than sitting back. And there's kind of a victim mentality around it as well, isn't there? And there are times where we're going to be more stressed and life is busier. We've had those we've had those recently, and that's okay. And then there's time to take stock. Exactly. Because this is your health.
Because even a simple situation where everyone's been falling down like flies with this dreaded lurgy thing. And my staff, I say to my staff, you're not allowed to get sick in my business, not allowed. But even on Saturday night, I could feel it coming down with something. So, I went to ground. I literally went to ground, went to bed for 24 hours, took all my stuff. I woke up on Monday morning completely
feeling great.
Because the body is a great
healer,
informer.
Right.
Your body will tell you. Listen to your body. Listen to yourself. Because I knew if I did not stop, which I tend to not do, but now as I'm older and a little bit wiser, I did stop.
Yep.
I listened to my body, and you know what? I just didn't put any, but that body just got to rest the whole 24 hours. Beautiful. So listen to it. Don't ignore the symptoms.
Yep.
Be aware of the signs.
I want to finish up because we're running out of time. I wanted just to ask you, how did you get into this? Because you can feel the passion zinging off her.
Yeah.
Kim, why? How? Tell us.
Look, I think life is an amazing journey, and I love my life. And I always wanted, because of the knowledge I've acquired over the years and being passionate about being healthy and happy, I've decided that the most important thing is to be able to empower people with the knowledge of how to improve their health and well-being. And so I fulfilled my vision by having the preventative and nutritional sort of frontier shop and the lab where we can create anything, even anti-aging creams. You know,
Yay!
all those things. And you know what? The most rewarding thing in life is to see people improve in their well-being, how they feel, how they look, how they feel about themselves, and be able to live life to the full.
And I tell you, you are a walking, example of just that. So, Kim Rumble, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Suzy.
This has been the SheBusiness Show, where we bring you business expertise, personal development, health and wellbeing. It's courtesy of VillageTV. If you'd like to continue accessing these tips, which are going to just make life that much easier, make sure you subscribe to VillageTV so we can see you next time round.